Hello, everybody, and welcome to Music Industry Insights Worldwide, Volume 3. And today I have the amazing Rejoice with us. How are you, Rejoice?
I'm doing really good. Happy to be here.
Oh, thank you. Do you want to tell the listeners a little bit more about yourself, what you do, and where you're from?
Yes, so I'm Rejoice. I'm a postgraduate student, just recently completed my master's in media law, which was really fun. I love music as well, so I'm a musician and I'm a singer-songwriter.
Wow.
Have just kind of loved music my whole life, so I released my debut single and looking to release more songs.
Wow, congratulations. Do you want to tell us
Thank
a little bit more about your background and kind of what kind of things you do? So you do singing. You also do
you.
kind of media law as well. Is that right?
Yes, I do. And it's so interesting to see kind of the merge of, I guess, justice and influence because media law, like, it impacts everybody and everything.
Yeah.
And of course, us being like in the music industry, we know how much impact that has. So I
Right.
guess understanding the legal aspect of it and also like practically creating music and being in the media industry is very exciting. It's
Yeah.
a world full of opportunity and influence, which is great. And it's great to be able to represent there as well as an ethnic minority growing up in Scotland as well, which was different.
Yeah, I can
But yeah.
imagine. Well, you're fabulous. Thank you for that. And if people don't know what media law involves, do you want to tell people a little bit more about what does that involve exactly?
Yes, so you have kind of your main media companies or even music companies like Sony Music. There's always law departments that help deal with copyright,
Yeah.
basically protecting your rights, protecting musicians' rights because we need those
We do.
just to protect our works as well.
Yeah.
That's where I guess someone like me would come in, just to protect your rights, make sure you're protected well, and make sure your works are able to be heard throughout the world without there being a problem.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Rejoice. And how long has that taken you to get to this kind of step? Like, is it taking you a long time?
Yes. Yes, it has.
Imagine. Yeah.
So yeah, I had my 4 years degree, which is normally how they do it in Scotland.
Yeah.
I know in England it's normally like three, which must be nice. But yeah, I did it for 4 years and I was still kind of deciding what area I would specialize in. But honestly, media law has had my heart for like years and years.
Right.
So I just kind of specialized into doing a 1 year master's that will be on that topic. And it would teach me more about music industry and contracts in the music industry, which yeah, I love. I'll continue like creating music and publishing music. So it helped me a lot just to
Yeah.
understand um how exciting it is. Like it's truly, truly so impactful. So it was so great to learn about it.
Wow. So that's like 5 years of education. And previously, before you went to uni, did you do music as well and that kind of thing beforehand as well?
Yeah, so I guess throwback to when I was like a child, man.
Yeah.
I think I used to be a I mean, I still am a creative child.
Yeah, you are.
But
So why?
that's why I'm here, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, like as a child, I loved writing little songs, little rhymes. I was always that kid that was like in my room just writing the most ridiculous rhymes, but they made sense. I loved it.
Yeah. Oh,
And
that's
then
lovely.
yeah, it was so lovely. I loved writing little songs and stuff like that. And I stopped for like a good few years. Don't know why, by the way. I think it was just like education and things. But
Yeah.
then I picked it up again. And honestly, like there's little things in life that just give you joy. And that was one of them for me. Like I loved creating music. So yeah, I'm still doing it.
Fantastic. And let's pray that you keep doing amazing things because I know you're doing some great things and good luck with everything that's coming up. Um,
Thank
Talk about your background and kind of being in Scotland and being from an ethnic minority. So tell us a little bit more about that, Rejoice, and what's that been like?
you. Yeah, so it's been a very interesting road for me. I think I love Scotland. Like Scotland is so lovely
Yeah,
and I rep it every
friendly.
day. And I think it's definitely a different experience being an ethnic minority in a predominantly like white country
Yes.
and going to high school as well, especially where I felt it the most. I found that I was quite picked on
Oh,
and bullied quite a bit for being just different or like looking different.
yeah.
And I think, especially going into your early stages of puberty, where it kind of forms your opinion of life,
Yeah.
opinion of how you think the wider world will
Identity
accept
as
you,
well. Yeah.
it really did knock my confidence just in them early stages of development because I was like, oh, if they think this about me, I guess everybody will think this about me. So it was interesting. And I think that actually impacted my music a bit because I was like, of course you need confidence to like come out and produce your own works.
You do.
So for most of that time I was just like, oh, I love music, but I generally don't think I'm confident enough to just like step out and like be myself because people aren't really accepting me for who I am. So like
Really
yeah,
relatable.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. It was really hard to like fit in and kind of find where you belong.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like my experience growing up. I'm so happy I had my mum as well. My mum is like a powerhouse. Like she
Oh,
would always be like, "Oh, you're so beautiful, you're so powerful, you're so amazing." And
lovely.
I was like, "You just have to say that because you're my mum." But
It's nice
no,
to
but
have that, yeah, and have that support.
absolutely, but like it was so needed.
Yeah.
And I think it just reminded me because like I in their moments as well, I kind of like held onto my faith quite a bit because I was like, everybody is kind of rejecting me. So like God, what do you say? And then I don't know, I just felt so validated
Yeah.
and just like I felt like really beautiful and felt confident in the fact that no, like I am here for a purpose.
Yeah.
Like people will love me. And let me not lie, people do. But
Uh, You're a lovely personality and a lovely person. And I think, how could anyone not? You know what I mean?
thank you so much. Yeah, I think it's just like understanding who you are and like not backing down and following it wholeheartedly. And I think that's what I did for the last few years that really just made me come into myself a bit more and just be comfortable in my own skin, you know?
I love that. I love that. And I'm sure that's a lot for a lot of people as well, just to hear that. And I think sometimes we need to hear that and we need someone else to
Yeah,
tell us that as well sometimes, because it can be very challenging and also competitive. So I think that can also knock you as well, can't it?
absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's even a reason that I wanted to go deeper into music too, because I'm like, people like me, like, they need to hear my story because I'm not perfect. I've been through so much.
Yeah,
But I
exactly.
think just to encourage people and like in my music as well, um, yeah, it's just to uplift people, to let people know that like you're doing good.
I
That
love
you're
kind of
doing
style
well.
of music is it,
Celebrate.
Rejoice? What kind of style of music do you do?
Yeah, so it's normally based on like my faith, based on like just encouraging people because I find that I really just love uplifting people.
Yeah.
And of course, coming out of lockdown, we all need it.
We all
We
need,
all
and now there's so much bad news in the world. Where's the good news? You know?
honestly, yeah. So I think I was just inspired to create that music and just to spread good news, I guess, to uplift people, being like, there is still hope. There is still hope.
Thank you. We need to be reminded of that as well. So I can't wait to listen to some of your tracks. I'm going to have to check them out. So I'm excited for that. And if you want to talk about equality, diversity, and inclusion in the music industry at this moment in time, what are your thoughts and feelings on that?
Yeah, so I think that on the whole, especially after the Black Lives Movement
Yeah.
matters, um, I guess a lot more attention was shining to, okay, ethnic minorities, they
Mm.
need more representation.
Yeah.
And I think I saw like a tangible move in some, I guess, music industries or music platforms trying to like represent people better.
Yeah.
One of them, I really love them. F-list music, I love their company so much. They just uplift women and they're so diverse and they're so great in just how they represent artists. And
Yeah.
it was so beautiful to see as well. And I think they made a move, but it can always be better. Like I think representation is something that it should be tangible in every single industry, in every single company, you know. And I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go into this industry too, because as a Black woman, as an ethnic minority, I would love to see people like me represented.
Yeah.
So it's just about being the change that you want to see and like stepping into these rooms, being like, okay, I may be the only one in this room, but I just trust that there will be more of me,
That's
more
right.
of people that
Well, you're
look like me.
inspiring others and empowering others, because I think sometimes it's when you don't see yourself in a position, you feel like
Yeah.
you can actually attain to be that. And once you see someone in that role, you're like, I can do this. I can do this because this other person's done it. So, keep doing what you're doing, Rejoice. And I know sometimes it's really difficult when you're walking into the room and you're the only person from your community and you keep walking in and you keep holding your head up high with a smile on your face. So that's super amazing. And just keep doing that too, because I know sometimes it can be uncomfortable.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, it can definitely be unique. But
Yeah,
I think just like owning who you are is so amazing because like when you step into a room, people can actually feel that.
yeah,
And it just creates a different side to people that like maybe you haven't heard their experiences before, or maybe you haven't even seen people like this within this context. But it just shows that everybody's allowed to be in that room, and like as long as you're in that room, you're shining your own light. So yeah,
right.
it's really amazing.
Yeah. And it was also about opening up opportunities as well for other people, because I think there's also that massive lack of opportunities for all of us underrepresented groups. And I think we need to be given those opportunities a little bit more too, right?
Absolutely. Like
Yeah.
I think that's something that I would rep to like the day that I die because I think these groups are just so important to feel heard and to feel seen.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I love the work that you're doing as well,
Oh,
because you're
thank
just
you.
actively creating these opportunities for people. And it's just so amazing to see people in prominent positions that are representing their groups as well. And
Thank you.
they're not backing down, you know. I really love that. And I love the work that you do too. So
Oh,
yeah,
so
I
kind.
love representation.
Thank you very much. I think it's super important, visibility, representation, but also the education as well, so other people can understand. And I think this is why I did this show, is because I know how hard it is for opportunities to be provided to others. So as well as providing myself with an opportunity, I'm also providing opportunity to other people as well, which I love. So it's about helping people too. Unless,
Yeah. And I find that like the more you kind of open up that door to people, changing lives is something that will never die down. Like somebody will always remember like what you've done to help them. And yeah, it's just such a powerful thing to impact people's lives, to be like, not only do I want to be positively impacted, but I want to spread that to everybody else. It's such a beautiful thing to do.
uh,
So yeah, like I really hope to follow in these footsteps, I guess the older I get
you
in
are,
life.
don't you worry, you're doing such an amazing job. So just keep doing what you're doing too, and we'll empower each other. I think that's great.
Thank
And
you
what would
so
you
much.
like? That's okay. And what would you like to see improve as well in the next few years? If there's any one thing or two things that you could change in the next couple of years, what would they be?
Yeah, so I think just building off of my story, I guess,
Yeah.
one of my main issues is just being like confidence and just like feeling like, oh, I can do this. And I would love for there to be like platforms that actively just boost people's confidence and just brings out people's true talents, you know, in a way that there's voices that need to be heard. Some of the artists that I know, especially, like they're amazing. They just need a boost of confidence.
Yeah.
And if there's like a organization or organizations, I think it should be a worldwide thing that they're actively just bringing out the best in kind of like unheard artists or unsung artists that don't really believe in themselves too much. Because no, been there, done that. That's so not cute.
Same here. Same
Yeah.
here. In there, yeah.
So I think it's just great to build people's confidence. Yeah.
That's a lovely bit of advice, and thank you. I hope that's another thing that we can kind of work on is confidence building. And
Yeah.
one bit of advice that I would give to others is the more you do something as well. I know sometimes it's uncomfortable, but that's when you're actually growing, and just keep
Absolutely.
doing it, because the more you do it, the better you become. So just enjoy it as well. Because I think sometimes you think it's going to be really stressful, but once you've done it, it's really enjoyable. So there's a few things you could think in your head.
Yeah, like you never know until you do it, and then you're like, oh,
Right.
that was bad. And then the more you do it, the more you find yourself doing things that you would have never imagined.
Yeah, that's so true. And being like a Black woman in Scotland, and then obviously doing your music industry, working in media as well, in law, have you ever been discriminated against or felt any stigma in any way?
Yeah, so I think for me, because of the, I guess, branch of music I do,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
find more representation in that area. But I would say that there's been times that I've went to, I guess, platforms, and it's very obvious that I'm like one of the ethnic minorities that they've had, or like one of the few. And
Yeah.
I just think in that sense, there's a kind of, I guess, reputation that you have to bring to yourself, and you have to kind of like almost represent your people, which feels very heavy. It does.
Isn't it? In a
But
way? Yeah.
yeah, I think it's just how, I guess, you perceive the situation, because yes, it can be intimidating, but as long as you know who you are and you know who you're representing and the group you're representing, I
Yeah.
think it's amazing to step into these places and just yeah, shine a positive light on the area and to just put your best foot forward, because there will be many people like you, hopefully, that come through them doors and are able to just, yeah, just be who they are. So yeah, it can be intimidating, but I think it's a perfect opportunity to just be yourself. Yeah.
I think so too. Thank you. That's a gem there. Also, I was going to ask you, do you think cultural issues and age differences have an impact on the kind of equity of the music industry and moving forwards and seeing that change? Do you think there's a bit of a power struggle there and a bit of a lack of understanding?
Yes, I definitely think so, because just doing my general research on the music industry is very small. Like the
Yeah,
managers all kind of know each other, even in the biggest kind of music companies, even in the UK, they all know each other and they all kind of have their contacts. So the more you look at the higher powers, I guess, the more you all kind of see that they're white men, you know.
yeah,
So I think, yeah, there could be a bit of a power struggle there, just because if we're so used to seeing that leadership, which is still great leadership,
yeah.
if we don't see representation, then that can mean that if there's someone like me, or yeah, just people that are trying to like get into these positions, they'll there'll be a bit of a struggle there, because you're just not used to seeing people like us in the forefront. But I think the more we try to like break that barrier and like create more opportunities for ourselves, who knows? There may be people like me, like us,
Fingers
in the
crossed. Yeah.
yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, we need to make sure that we see more people in boardrooms that have that decision-making power, but to also
Yeah,
share that knowledge and experience and some of the struggles again and the issues and barriers that we all face. Because if we're not in the room when decisions are being made, then how can they support us better into these places? Do you know what I mean?
absolutely, yeah.
So I think that's part of it. So if people can find you, Rejoice, and they want to listen to your music and they want to find out more about you and the work you do, where can people?
Yay. Yes, you can find me in a couple places. So I think my Instagram page is the most active. It's called rejoice.ab, and I'll pop up hopefully.
Okay, yeah.
And also on my LinkedIn as well, which is Rejoice Abudar. I'm sure my name will be somewhere here.
I'll leave
So
that in the description with your bio below, which will be posted with your podcast as well. Thank you. And is there anything you would like to share with the listeners, like any major wins or successes? And is there any new releases that you've got coming out?
ooh, love this question. Okay, so I one thing that's coming to mind for like one of my successes, which kind of shocked me, was that when I released my debut single, which I guess was the first one
Yeah.
that it got into like the top three charts on the UK Christian platforms, like the UK Christian charts, which was
Yeah.
amazing. Like it
Yeah.
shocked me so much, just being a new artist,
Well done.
um, not really knowing what I'm doing.
Well done. You do know what you're doing. Come on, you must. If you got to number three, you've got to know what you're doing. Come on, give yourself some
Yes,
credit, Joyce. Come
thank you.
on. That's
Thank you.
amazing news. Amazing news.
But it's just like feeling the support from people and the love from people. Like it was so amazing because for me, it was just kind of like an innocent, oh, I like to do music. I'm gonna
Yeah.
release this. Hopefully it will like touch people and stuff like that. But to be recognized on such a big scale like that, I was literally shocked. I
Wow.
was so, and of course, I like brought up opportunities to speak on like radio platforms and stuff like that, which I never imagined. Like I'd always listen to radio platforms as a child and like jam out to the music, and I never thought that one day I would be that child. I guess just like
And now you
talking on that.
are. Well, now you are. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so my
amazing.
younger self would feel so happy.
Proud.
She'd be shocked.
I'm proud. It's not been easy to get to where you are right now. You should be super proud. And
Thank
that's really lovely to hear. I'm so happy. That's made my afternoon as well. So, oh,
you.
congratulations. And I'm
Thank you
wishing you
so
all the success for what's to come as well, Rejoice. I'm sure there's some big things coming up.
Yeah, so coming up, ooh, I'm back in like my creative flow and I'm working on like a couple of different songs.
Yeah,
So fingers crossed.
we'll keep
Next
it
year,
across you.
yes, you'll see some.
Yeah, I will be. I'll be looking for it now. I'm going to go and find out your track as soon as I'm off this podcast. Don't you worry. Oh,
Yeah.
fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. So, yeah, do you want to carry on? Did I just interrupt you? Sorry.
Oh no, like I think that's just um yeah, that's where I'm at for now. I guess something that I want to tell people just in general to encourage them is just like keep being you. As long as you're alive, as long as you're breathing, there is perfect space for you to just flourish in whatever area that you are meant to be in. And whatever area you are in, no matter who you are, there's always space for you to thrive and always space for you to just dominate the area, own who you are, you know?
I love
So
that.
you keep being you, keep doing what you're made to do, and yeah, just keep shining your light.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, thank you ever so much for coming on today. This has been absolutely amazing. I've really enjoyed our time together. And yeah, thank you again.
No problem. It's been so great to be on the platform. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I've loved every bit of it. It's just beautiful conversations that hopefully will burn more ground to like
Right.
greater conversations like this as well.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks a lot, Rejoice. Take care.
Thank you.